What's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well and you're staying safe and sound and healthy in your part of the world. Today, we're going to be tackling the Lost World Jurassic Park Roland Tembo custom figure. Kicking this video off, we're going to take our good pal Robert Muldoon here, and I'm going to show you a few of the steps that I went through to customize this guy. First off, what you're going to want to do is get a hair dryer and remove the head and both of the arms to get them out of the way, because we're not going to need them until towards the end. And next, what you want to do is get some Milliput epoxy putty, and you want to get a nice big flat glob of it. And what you want to do is flatten it to where it's the same thickness as the vest that Muldoon is wearing, because what we want to do is make Roland Tembo's jacket that he wears in the Lost World. So before we put the Milliput on, we're going to need to take the X-Acto knife and shave down Muldoon's tall socks, leaving just a little bit at the top part of the boot, because Roland Tembo does have some black socks on. But you want to take your X-Acto knife and sort of shave off some of the plastic. And then once you get most of that plastic shaved off, you can go in with your fine sandpaper, sand the sock down smooth, and sort of blend the skin together. Once you finish getting the socks done, then we can start applying the Milliput. So what you want to do is take the Milliput and start at the bottom part of the vest here, and you want to press it on. You want to make sure that it's the same sort of thickness as the vest. You want to pull it all the way around until it reaches the other end. And then get your X-Acto knife out and trim away that excess amount of epoxy putty at the bottom. You're going to want to set that epoxy putty aside, because we are going to use that later for the bottom parts of his shorts. So you want to sort of position this epoxy putty on his vest to where it doesn't hinder his leg movement. You still want to be able to have the legs to be able to move around and pose him whenever you're messing around with him. So, just kind of fluff out the bottom part of the shirt like that. And you want to have some water on hand to dip your finger in and sort of smooth out and blend the Milliput up into his vest, so it all kind of blends together for when you're ready to paint it. You can also take a brush afterwards, dip it in water, and sort of move all of that stuff, the Milliput, around and smooth it all out. That way it looks nice and smooth. So you can also use your X-Acto knife to get up into the smaller areas and sort of puff the material away from his legs so it doesn't lock his legs into place. Once you get that done, then you can take the rest of that Milliput that you have and you can start building his shorts, because Roland Tembo has longer shorts than Muldoon does. So you want to take just a little bit of that Milliput, and for demonstration purposes here, just kind of take it and wrap it around the bottom part of his thigh and sort of make the bottom part of the shorts, keeping it right above the knee. That way you don't lose any knee articulation in here. But it's pretty straightforward. Once you get that stuff around, use the water and then sort of blend everything up into the fabric that Muldoon has on his shorts. It's going to take about 4 to 5 hours for that Milliput to really cure. So once it's cured, then we can move on to painting. So here it is. The Milliput has hardened, and I've got the figure all painted here. I'm going to take you through the paints that I used on this guy. So I started off the clothing on him. The shirt and the shorts are done in Vallejo Olive Drab. The white button-up shirt he has on is just Vallejo White Ivory. And I used matte black for his socks, flat earth brown for his boots and his belt. And to seal him, I used a satin varnish to give it that factory sheen and to protect all the paint from chipping off. Now, if you want to fix some of these fleshy parts down here from where you sanded, you will have to get a flesh tone paint to do that. And any kind of medium or standard flesh tone paint will work just fine, filling in all these little areas that may look a little rough from when you sanded them. So yeah, you can paint it all the way up to the knee, that way it matches, and you can try to match the upper part of the arm. So you've noticed here that he has no hands, and that's because the Mattel figures have no wrist articulation, and that bothers me, so I like to make my own articulated wrists. And for that, you just cut the hands right off, flush with the forearm area, and then you take a Dremel tool with a very tiny drill bit and, of course, drill a nice pilot hole into both forearms, and then get some sort of peg. This is just a resin sprue from an air vent from a mold that I had, but glue it into the hand and then take the peg and then stick it into the pilot hole into the forearm with a little pressure here, and we can get that thing snug right into place, and now you've got wrist articulation. Super easy. I also covered it in my Muldoon video, so be sure to check that out. So, last but not least, Roland Tembo is going to need a head. So I found a company online called MarauderGunrunners.com, and they sell 1/18 scale G.I. Joe size parts. Body parts, weapons, accessories, you name it, they've got a ton of stuff. So I'll link in the description box below to the site with the link for this head right here. This is the most accurate looking bald guy head that I could find on their site. Super cheap, like $1.99 plus shipping. And it fits perfectly on the Mattel figure body, and I've used several of their heads before on making some custom mercenary characters, but this head is absolutely the closest that I can find to looking sort of like Roland Tembo. You can also pick up a hat. This is optional. They do sell this on their site. It's kind of like the Bowie hat that Muldoon wears. It's a little big for his head. It does say that it's 1/18 scale, but I think it's designed for characters that actually have hair on their head, because it does look a little oversized on his head, but I picked it up anyways. Thought it would be cool just to kind of have a hat accessory on hand. But this thing is also optional. I think it's about $2 as well, but you know, you're there buying the head, might as well grab the hat just in case. But when you get these heads, you are going to have to take a large drill bit and drill that hole out just a tad bit, because it doesn't fit on the Mattel peg straight from, you know, the bag that you get in the mail. So you are going to have to customize it a bit, but once you drill it out, it'll pop right on the figure just like that, and you're ready to rock and roll. So lastly here, in regards to weapons, I have searched around the internet trying to find the double barrel rifle that he uses in the Lost World, and I can't seem to find one anywhere. So for now, the shotgun, or the pump shotgun that came with the Mercenary and Stiggy story pack, is going to have to work as a stand-in until I can find something. But if you guys know of a place that sells other types of 1/18 scale weapons, let me know so I can go and see if I can find one. I had looked on Marauder, but they actually don't sell anything similar to that. They just have a few modern shotguns and some World War II M1 Garand, stuff like that. But I'm going to keep looking and see what I can find. But other than that, this custom here is done. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you found the information provided useful, and you're able to use it and get out there and make some cool custom figures. Remember, for more Jurassic Park related content, you guys know where to find me. Links will be in the description box below. You guys take care, and I will see you in the next video.